this works.
What's going on, diligent people? Today's video is going to be a little different. Normally I talk about the power of being diligent and staying on top of things, but I'll say that over the last few months, I haven't really been so diligent. There's a lot of things that have come up in my life that has kind of stopped me from doing the things that I normally love doing, like homesteading and things like that. And so I want to get into that today. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you all of the upcoming projects that I have in mind. There's a lot of things that need to be done in the house, outside the house. Recently, there was a storm that knocked down several trees on our property. So I'm going to be taking the time to clear some of that brush and burning some of those trees away. Also, we have a lot of things to do, like we have a deck that needs to be done. Also, a lot of the things that we move outside of this storage facility. Do you remember when I cleaned this gray shed behind me? Well, honestly, all of the trash that was in there, I never really got a chance to throw it away. So all of that trash kind of built up, and now it's in our carport. So the carport is going to be another thing that we're going to have to fix up. A lot of sinkholes have appeared because of the storm. We have about two sinkholes in our front yard, and we've got one smaller sinkhole in the backyard that's been there for a while. So I'll be filling those sinkholes up. Also, I have a deck that needs to be renewed. We moved into this house probably about 5 or 6 years ago and never got a chance to redo that deck. So I'll be working on the deck. Also, we have the garden space that I showed you in the last video that needs to be done. I'm going to be planting blackberries, strawberries, raspberries, things like that. And as part of the fencing that still needs to be done, also I need to build the gates for that. So that's going to be coming up as well. The sheep fencing need to be done as well. About a year and a half ago, I put up all the wood poles for the sheep fencing, and I never got a chance to actually wrap the fencing around those poles. So eventually you'll see me do that as well. So between the storm and my inability to be able to work on my homestead is not in the best shape right now. And so oftentimes when you see a lot of homesteading videos, people want to show you all of the nice things that they have to show. But me personally, I want to show you all the bad as well, because in life, we have the good and the bad, right? A lot of homesteading videos, oftentimes they show you the finished product. They show you all of the good things. They show you their successes, but they hardly ever really show you their failures, right? So in this video, I want to be negative, but I want to show you some of the failures that I have so you can kind of know what homesteading is about. Because homesteading is not always about the positive, it's also about the negative also. So in this video, you'll be seeing that as well. Also in the near future, I'll be making some videos. I recently got the chance to go to United Arab Emirates. So I got to see Dubai, I got to see Abu Dhabi, and I got to see a lot of historical areas in this region. It was really great. I got to see things like the Grand Mosque, got to see a lot of the malls, and it was just such a great time to be able to experience the Middle Eastern culture. And so be on the lookout for that video. Probably this month or next month, I'll show you those videos and show you the times that I got to visit that great country. So now that we've gotten all of that out of the way, we're gonna go around and I'm gonna show you the homestead, and I'm gonna show you all of the areas that need to be fixed. I'll probably be working on these things this year and next year. So this will be an overview of a lot of the things that you will have to look in store for in the future. So come, follow me. So as I mentioned before, there's a lot of trees in my yard that need to be cut. We recently had a storm. I think it was a part of that hurricane that came through. We kind of got the aftermath of that hurricane, and there's a lot of rain and a lot of wind, but we've got about 4 trees that I'm gonna have to cut that fell down. And one thing I hate is cutting trees. It's kind of like one of the hardest tasks for me to do. So I'm gonna show you this tree right here. So this is one of the trees. I think this is actually 2 or 3 trees right here. And I'm not really a fan of cutting trees, so I think the Lord has a funny sense of humor. I don't know if it was the Lord or the devil that did this. I want to say it's the devil, but I think that the good thing about this is, I think it'll provide some really good content in the future. Uh, so that's one. Let's see, one tree right there, another tree right there. Then we got a little small tree right there. So that's about 3 trees that, yeah, I'm gonna have to cut on my own. I'm gonna have to put my kids to work on that one. And so those trees right there, they didn't really damage anything, so it's not really a big deal, I don't think. But there's another tree that did do a little damage to my chicken coop, and not really the chicken coop, but more so of the sheep pen. And so we'll be there in a minute, and I'll show you that. So as you can see, there's a huge tree right here that fell on our sheep pen. And surprisingly, our sheep pen is not broken. And also you can see right here in this area, let me see if I can get a good shot of that. Part of my garden fence was broken, but the good news is that it's just a supporting beam, so nothing really to worry about right there. And I don't know if you can see right over there, that's where the tree fell on part of the sheep pen. But like I said, the good news is that it withheld the damage. It's not really that much damage, so praise the Lord on that one. We can go around and I'm going to show you how it looks like on the other side real quick. All right, so we're coming to the other side of the sheep pen. Did you try anything, little boy? Yeah, he's been a little aggressive. He gets a little aggressive every now and then. But here you can see where right over there is where that tree broke, and see it's on top of part of our sheep pen. So there was a little bit of damage. You can see underneath here. You can see right over there, there's some wood that's kind of split. Let me get closer. See right there, a little bit of wood that's kind of split right there, but minimal damage, so nothing to worry about. All right, so I'm gonna show y'all all of the sinkholes that have kind of appeared in our yard. Let's go. So I'm coming up on one of the sinkholes right now, and I think like this sinkhole has actually been in our yard for quite some time, and just never really got a chance to really work on it. Yeah. So here's the first sinkhole right here at this tree right here. It's not so big, so nothing really to worry about there, but I want to fill that in. Now the other 2 sinkholes, they're right in our front yard, and they're actually getting kind of big, and they get bigger almost every day. It's kind of scary. But I want to know if anybody out there has dealt with sinkholes. What do you do? I've thought about, so on our front driveway we need some gravel put on our front driveway, and kind of thought about using some of that gravel to fill in the sinkholes. I've also heard about using like concrete and things like that. And also thought about filling it in with wood chips. But I'm trying to do it like the cheapest way with the material that we're going to be getting anyway. So if you guys have any thoughts about that or had any experience with that, please just drop a comment in the chat and just let me know. There goes the sinkholes. And they are kind of big. Here goes another one right here. Just let me know what you guys do with that, if any of you have experience with that. Oh yeah, and another thing, unfortunately, with those unexpected things that happen in life, I didn't really have time to really focus on my garden. So don't judge me, but I'm gonna show you how my garden looks, and hopefully next year we can have something that looks a lot better than what it looks like this year. So as you can see, it is pretty overgrown, pretty badly. Didn't really get a chance to plant much this year, and while I didn't get much opportunity to really tend to it this year, let's go in. I'm not going to go in too far because it's a lot of grass in here, guys. A lot of grass, just a lot of weeds and stuff that just kind of got overgrown. And we meant to plant blackberries, but we didn't get that opportunity. We bought some, but we never got a chance to plant them. So next year, you guys will see blackberries being planted. So as I said earlier, I got the sheep fencing behind me that I kind of worked on. I've got the post up, but eventually, sometime this year or next year, we'll be wrapping the fence around it. And that way, the sheep can have an extra place where they can graze at. I want to practice something that's called rotational grazing, and I want to make sure that the sheep have really good quality grass that they can eat. And when one pasture is starting to die down, they can go to another pasture. So that's the purpose of having this extra area that we have that we want to build for the sheep. Now, when I did the first video that I made, it was me renovating our gray shed. Our gray shed had a lot of things a lot of junk, a lot of trash that needed to be removed. And I took all of the trash out, but I put the trash in a place that is not really a great place to put it at, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, eventually we're gonna have to dump this trash that is on our carport. I'm gonna show you that. And so this is our carport right here. And this is gonna be a project that we will work on. We keep our hay here and we park cars, but all of this trash right here came out of the gray shed. And so eventually I want to clean it all out. As you can see on the outside, kind of needs to be repainted. Some of the wood needs to be replaced. So I'm really excited to focus on this next year as well. And I think the remodeling is going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to paint it, take some old wood off, add some new wood. And there's rusty roofing on top. I don't think I'm really going to change the roof out. I think I'm just going to add paint to it. It's not really an important piece of our property, but it is a part that I want to preserve. So I think a little bit of paint and some new wood will do the magic that this needs. We don't need to pour too much money into this. So we moved to this house about maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, and I've always wanted to work on the deck. The deck has been something I have felt that has needed to be worked on for a very long time, and unfortunately, life has kind of gotten in the way of me working on it. But now is the time to work on it. So our deck needs to be pressure washed pretty bad, and even some parts of the siding on our house needs to be pressure washed as well. But that is one area we plan on working on this year. So when I pressure wash it, I'm gonna paint it. At first when we bought this house, I was actually kind of nervous to walk on the deck because I didn't realize if the wood was in good condition or not. But the wood is actually not bad. I think with a little bit of paint and just, once we clean it off, I think the deck will look really nice. So I'm looking forward to that. If you have any suggestions about how we can improve our deck without hiring someone, just let us know. So do you ever have trees that you cut down and end up growing back? That's happened to me before. So one thing that I did was I cut the trees down and I bought this stuff from Lowe's. And so it's like this tree poison. You drill holes into the tree and you pour poison in it and you add water to it. And it's supposed to stop the trees from growing again. But unfortunately, a lot of those trees grew back. So I'm back at the drawing board. Like, I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to stop these trees from growing again. So I think this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut back those trees that have been growing after I cut them down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to burn them. And hopefully that works. I've got probably about maybe 8 or 9 trees that I cut down, bushes and things like that. And they just keep growing. Stuff just keeps coming back from them. So I'm going to try to just burn them and see how that works. So those are the things that I pretty much plan on working on over the next few months, and even throughout this year and next year. If you guys have any suggestions on how to do some of those things really well, or if you had any experience with any of those things and you'd like to share it, just let me know in the chat. Drop a comment. If you like what you saw today, subscribe and tap that notification bell. Until next time, stay diligent.
Want more? Watch one of these videos next. And don't forget to subscribe to stay updated.